Hi guys, we're ready for part 3 of our vocabulary enrichment. Remember, you have that sheet of paper and we're going to be filling it out. So let's get on with some new words. All right, word number 1 has 2 syllables. We have greedy. All right, notice where that little hyphen is. It's between greed and that letter Y. The Y in that case has the long E sound. So we have greedy. All right, the definition for greedy: showing a selfish desire for more than what is needed. All right, we can want something, but when we want something that's more than what we actually need, then we become greedy. So let's look at some synonyms that would be words that would mean almost the same thing. So somebody who is selfish could be considered greedy, or somebody who was impatient. They wanted something right then, right now, and all of it. That could be considered greedy. So let's look at those 3 sentences. Sentence number 1. There is no need to be greedy. There is plenty for everyone. So in that case, somebody was being really impatient. They wanted their turn. They they felt like there wouldn't be enough for everyone, or maybe they didn't really care about other people. Usually greedy people don't really care about other people. They're pretty much concerned about themselves. Sentence number 2, the greedy puppy wanted all the milk. You know, people are not the only greedy things out there. There are also some animals out there that can be greedy, and in this case, it was a greedy puppy that wanted all the milk. Yet it gives a great example of how people can be greedy as well, wanting all of something, just not willing to share, coming back into that selfish part. All right, and sentence number 3. Jane greedily wanted all the cookies for herself. So in that way, we have the word greedy, but it's kind of worded a little differently, greedily. All right, she wants all the cookies for herself. She doesn't plan on sharing anything. And so we would consider her greedy, wanting more than what she actually needs. She does not need all the cookies. She just wants them. All right, so you're going to pause the video. You're going to actually write the vocabulary word greedy up at the top. You're going to write the definition for it. And then down at that bottom where there's the connective writing piece, I would like for you to write about a time when somebody was greedy. Maybe it was a time that you read about, or you watched, or you've experienced some way that you can connect to the word greedy. And then when you're done with that, come on back for word number 2. All right, word number 2 has 4 syllables. We have depend, able. And when we say it all together, we would say dependable. All right, the definition for dependable is can be counted on. All right, some synonyms, some words that mean almost the same are reliable. You're able to rely on someone. Trustworthy, all right, and honest. Those are all great qualities about somebody. All right, sentence number 1. Tim was dependable to show up for work every day. That means that the person who was his boss was able to depend on Tim because they knew he was going to be there. They could count on him being there. They knew that he was reliable, and they just knew he was going to be there every single day. He could be counted on. Sentence number 2. I could depend on Kate to bring in the cups for the party. All right, so I took the word depend. So dependable and depend is actually the root word. So I could depend on Kate. That means I could count on Kate to bring those cups in for the party. She was trustworthy. I knew it was going to happen. Sentence number 3. Mrs. Jones wanted dependable leaders for captains. All right, anytime that a teacher is looking for somebody who's going to be a leader of a team or a leader of a row or the leader of the line, they want somebody who's dependable, somebody they can trust, somebody who's going to be honest and somebody they can rely upon, they can count on. All right, so what I'd like you to do is I want you to pause that video. You're going to write the word dependable up in the word vocabulary spot, you're going to put the definition down. And then for that writing piece, you're going to write about a time you were dependable. When could somebody count on you? I want you to write about it in that connective piece. All right, pause the video and come on back when you're ready. All right, we're ready for word number 3. And word number 3 has 4 syllables. We have consider it. Considerate. All right, looks like 8 at the end, doesn't it? Considerate. All right, and the definition for considerate is to show concern for the feelings and the rights of others. And that basically is thinking of others first. Putting them before yourself is to be considerate of someone else. So some words that mean the same or almost the same, the synonyms, are to be kind and caring and thoughtful. Those are all the kinds of things that we're looking for when we're looking for students with character. The teachers are looking for those kind of things so we can celebrate that. Look at sentence number 1. Paul was considerate about not eating peanuts by Seth, who was allergic to them. This is where Paul is considering the feelings of other people before thinking of himself and saying, you know, this isn't good for me to eat peanuts next to Seth, who's allergic to them, so I'll just remove myself and sit someplace else. All right, sentence number 2. He was considerate to turn down the radio when asked. You know, I personally love loud music, but when it bothers other people and I want to be considerate, then what I need to do is I need to consider their feelings before my own. And if somebody asks me to do something, then I need to go ahead and do that to be considerate. And sentence number 3, we should be considerate to others. We should be trying to look out for their best interest. And if everybody in the classroom is trying to be considerate of the other person, man, it makes my job and the other teachers' jobs a whole lot easier when we're trying to show concern and feelings for the rights of others before thinking of ourselves first. All right, at this time, you're going to pause the video. You're going to write the word considerate up at the top where the vocabulary word goes. Then you're going to write the definition, and then down at that connective piece, you're going to describe someone who was considerate. And I want you to tell me, what did they do when they were considerate? How did they show consideration towards you or in a situation? I'd like you to write about that. And then pause the video and come on back for our last word. All right, our last word has 3 syllables. Destructive, and we would say destructive. The definition is to cause great damage or to ruin. So let's look at some of those synonyms or words that mean almost the same. The first one is to destroy or to ruin or hurtful. Let's look at those in a sentence. Sentence number 1, our words can be destructive to a friendship if they aren't kind. All right, so think about that. Our words can be hurtful to a friendship if they aren't kind, or they can ruin a friendship if they're not kind. So destructive. Sentence number 2, the young child was destructive with his crayons. I can only imagine what a young child might do with a bunch of crayons and a nice shiny white wall. That could ruin or destroy a beautiful white wall if they were destructive with those crayons. And the last sentence, sentence number 3, the behavior of the students was destructive to learning. Oh, how I know this. You know, the behavior that students have can actually help a classroom or they can kind of ruin a classroom, the learning environment. They can be hurtful to that learning environment. So when students have destructive learning, they really aren't adding to, they're taking away from. So destructive is to cause great damage or to ruin. All right, so you're going to pause that video. You're going to write the word destructive up at the top. You're going to write the definition for it, and then you're going to write in that connective piece, you're going to write about something that someone did that could be destructive. So I want you to think back, make a connection with the word destructive. Maybe they did something that was hurtful, or something was destroyed, or something was completely ruined. I want you to make a connection with that. All right, and when you're done with that, I need you to make sure that the whole sheet is complete, your name is on it, and then you're going to put that in the finish box.